It's Victory Monday! Oh, I love when I get to say that. It's amazing. Welcome back to Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Hit that sub, hit that bell, send that like, and let's get right to it, baby, because we got a dub in New Orleans. Our Arizona Cardinals snatched the win out of the clutches of defeat, and I'll explain that in a little bit, but in a way, of course. But yesterday, 20-13 in New Orleans over the Saints. Solid game overall. Kyler Murray, solid stat line, 21 for 29, 63 yards, 2 scores to go along with 7 carries for 38 yards. And the running backs putting in work, of course. Trey Benson, 8 carries, 49 yards. James Conner, 12 for 39. And again, I know those aren't massive numbers. These aren't Adrian Peterson type numbers. I understand that. But when it comes to getting, converting on third down, to moving that line, to getting yards, obviously, and getting the offense in the better position, those are solid, right? The receivers were solid as well. Marvin Harrison Jr. caught 5 for 71 and a touchdown. Trey McBride caught 6 for 61. Connor caught 4 for 5 yards and a touchdown, which is dope to see a little shovel pass in the end zone. You guys will see that on YouTube. And, of course, the defense showed up, especially at the very end of the game with a couple much-needed stops to seal the win. 1 sack, 3 tackles for a loss, 9 pass deflections overall, and 2 hits on the quarterback. Solid overall play for the defense, but we need more pressure on the quarterback. It's the name of the game, right? Spencer Rattler. We'll talk about Spencer Rattler in a little bit here, but he looked as confused as any rookie you've seen in the game. He's been in there for a year and change, so he is not a rookie anymore, but he didn't play like a veteran either. Okay, he's not a veteran. We kind of made him look like one. I'll explain that here in a little bit. So that was overall solid, of course. So let's go talk about the good that went down in New Orleans. Kyler Murray looked good, right? Took care of the ball, didn't turn it over. He was able, instead of, he held onto the ball a little bit too long a couple times. He took a couple really long sacks we did not want or need. You could actually, if you watch the play, you can actually kind of, he's playing part of it, of course, right? But the very first one was a terrible one, right? Getting pinned back and third down and, everything. And that was, to me, mostly because the play call was trash and execution was bad, right? He faked the handoff, turned, and Cam Jordan's right there in his face, took him down. So that was a rough one. The other one was bad too, but and that one was definitely his fault. Don't get it twisted. The second one, but that first one was rough. We'll talk about more on what went wrong here in a minute here. But Will Johnson got an interception that was negated by an awful call on Max Munton on the other side of the field. I mean, it was a call. Max wasn't even near the ball. Nowhere near the ball. Wasn't in the same zip code, right? Was not even in the same zip code, and somehow that flag negates the first professional interception for Will Johnson. That would have been huge, but Will Johnson played like a baller, all right? He passed deflections, right? Covering guys like White on Rice. It didn't even matter. It got to the point that Spencer Rattler didn't even throw his way anymore, right? They had to get Chris Olave, balls in close in the slide instead of out and about because Will Johnson was shutting him down, baby, all right? Went after Max Munton a little bit. Max has some work to do, of course. He's not as overall talented, in my opinion, as Will Johnson. Still pretty damn good. But, Will Johnson, man, I can't say enough about him. Jordan Burch, oh my God, he got some great plays in there, put a lot of pressure on the offensive line of the Saints, who, and then the Saints, of course, they a ton of fouls on themselves, false starts and holds and all kinds. Hey, we had a couple too, but they had a ton of them. So overall, great play from the D line. In New Orleans. Now what went bad? What was not nice? What did we not like from that win? Kyler took the awful sacks at terrible times. 100%, right? He took care of the ball overall. 21 for 29, threw it away when he had to and all that, but that was those 2 sacks were pretty bad. The first one, I think it's part of the execution of the play. It was, if you guys noticed that the one long one, right? He snaps the ball, and Tip Raymond, one of our tight ends, kind of touches Cam Jordan, because the whole point was for Trey McBride to come out and block, and Trey was late. And Cam Jordan might be 80 years old, but he can still ball. All right, he got in there, took Kyler down. He ended up with a sack and a half on the day. So good on Cam Jordan. That guy needs a gold jacket eventually. But yeah. And then we made Spencer Rattler look like a mostly competent quarterback, and he's not, at all. Okay. All right, people have said, I've been labeled a Spencer Rattler hater. I'm not a Spencer Rattler hater. That dude, he does it himself, okay? He's not good, right? And again, last year he was a rookie and all that, but this is going back to Oklahoma. Oklahoma couldn't beat out, didn't want to compete against Caleb Williams. Took off to South Carolina. Caleb ended up going to USC, which is funny, but took off to South Carolina. Was average at best there. And the Saints took a shot at him, and it is what it is. He has a job. Great. He's a starter. That makes me wonder how bad the other quarterbacks are, because Spencer Rattler's not good. All right. And the attitude you could tell is there is just, it's all kind of garbage. It's not a quarterback I would ever want on my roster, but we made him look like he's competent. That, to me, is not good defensively, right? You need to make bad quarterbacks look like bad quarterbacks. Otherwise, you make them look like all-stars. What do they say about you? You know what I mean? Like, Saints fans are going to come out and be like, he didn't do too bad, in a tough spot with a bad O-line and bad this and that, blah, blah, blah. Nah, dude, stop. He's not good. We made him look better, right? Made him look like all-stars. Like, it's just not a great thing to do. Not a good thing to do. I don't like that at all. So there's that, of course. And I'm done. I'm done with Drew Petzing. Offensive coordinator for the Cardinals. He has to go. Like, now, I wish we could get rid of him now. But on that sack, right? It was like third. It was second and like 21, right? But calling 2 consecutive run plays, second and 21 and third and 20, was just so wild to me, right? The second down one was rough. I'm like, why are we running the ball? We think he's gonna break through? Like, that D-line's, they know what they know what a run looks like, bro. And on third down, didn't even bother trying to fake, a play action or nothing. And I get it. It's a long yard situation. But how? What did you think was going to happen, Drew? That was just terrible. Talk about giving up on a possession, too. Like, just run it twice and just punt it, dude, whatever. Like, come on. Nobody could figure out what he was doing, much less him. And last season, he was terrible. This season, he already started off weak. Could he turn it around? Sure. But, man, this guy needs some help. Get him an assistant. Get him an intern. Get him something. Get him hooked on phonics for offensive coordinator, something, dude. But if we keep doing this kind of crap this entire season, one, it's not going to go well, okay? And two, he's going to go. But Jonathan Gannon, because he held on to him, is going to be on the hot seat next season for sure with that, right? And it's just not good. Drew Petzing cannot call a third down play to save his life. Jesus, that was terrible. So, yeah, did we win? Sure. But we won despite ourselves. Like, at that point, like, we were beating ourselves. I put it to the very end, those last 2 consecutive defensive stops that, thank God we got. Outside of that, like, we were beating ourselves. We were going to lose that game beating ourselves again. The story of our lives, right? Especially last season. Last season, a bunch of our games were close, and we just beat ourselves at the end. It was awful. Awful. We cannot be doing that again then, Drew. Okay, get it together, Drew. Get it together, please. Fuck. I mean, dude, come on, man. Anyway. All right. My hot take today. I've been hearing too many whispers about this dude. Too many. So, great. We got the win. Kyler saw a play. We'll quiet this down for a bit. But I suspect soon enough, the draft birds will come out and Kyler replace him next season. Why, oh why, is the name I'm hearing left and right Arch Manning? Ugh. Arch Manning. He's about as average as they come for a quarterback starting for a school as big as Texas. Like, even Texas fans are looking at him like, why? Like, what? Right? First of all right. Couldn't beat out Quinn Ewers last season, right? Quinn went late in the draft this last draft. He went late, I think. It was like 4th, 5th, 6th round, something like that. But even with all the hype, right, and the Manning last name, and he still got beat out. People have been saying Shedeur Sanders was a manufactured hype product. What do you call this? What, because his last name's Manning? Suddenly he's going to be some otherworldly talent? Hell no. The kid has a lot of work to do. Could he be good? Sure. But he doesn't have what his uncles have or had, right? He doesn't have the Peyton Manning mind. He doesn't have the elusiveness and the ability to scramble and make something out of nothing that Eli had, right? Like, come on. He played Ohio State in the opener. Of course, the Buckeyes are damn good. I mean, they're currently ranked number 1, at Fall on Saturday's games, right? But if you're going to be a top pick in the NFL draft at quarterback, you cannot have a pedestrian game against a squad with future NFL guys on it, okay? Against Ohio State, 17 for 30, 170 yards, a garbage time touchdown, if memory serves right, and early interception leading to a 7-14 loss against the Buckeyes. That Texas defense is solid, y'all. They're solid. I enjoy watching those guys play defense. He ran the ball 10 times for 38 yards. Cool. Is this your king? Yeah. The draft the quarterback next year, guys. Like, come on, man. This is your guy? Really? Now he bounced back on Saturday. Okay. 19 for 30, 295 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, along with 4 carries for 23 yards in the score. All right, cool. Great numbers. Amazing numbers. Arch Manning's made it. He's here. He's him. Scored 5 for his squad, and they won 38-7 against San Jose State. San Jose State. Right? Not dissing the Spartans. Not at all. But San Jose State. This wasn't even Ohio. This wasn't Ohio State, right? This was even against Arizona State, who fell out, who was incredibly overrated and fell out of the rankings for losing to Mississippi State, an unranked Mississippi State team in the worst way possible, or one of them, right? On Saturday, they're out. Okay, it wasn't even against them. Okay, San Jose State. Now, Spartan fans, don't come for me in the comments. All right, y'all know this team was not a challenge for Texas whatsoever, right? But that's why Arch looked good. Now, let's get back to the point. Arch Manning is one of the most overrated possible future prospects for the Arizona Cardinals. No way in hell, in my opinion, should we even look to replace Kyler with him. I'd rather have Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, I said it. I'd rather have Shedeur Sanders at quarterback than Arch Manning. So stop it with the Manning talk. Let somebody like one of the New York teams that wants to get butts and seats draft him, or the Colts be like, let's bring our guys, nephew, or even the Giants would love to do that, but. Like, relax with the Manning talk. Please stop it. Let him go waste someone else's high draft pick. Unless he falls to us in the 5th round or 6th round. Let's take a flyer. Why not? All right? He has not shown me anything that says, NFL star. At all. So, stop it. If you're going to call for Kyler to get replaced, if you're going to call for drafting a quarterback or getting someone else in there and everything for next season, someone someone good would be nice, right? I don't even mind the delusional people that are like, we could just trade for Lamar Jackson. We could just trade for Josh Allen. Never going to happen. But I prefer those people than the people going, we get Arch Manning. Come on, dog. Come on. All right? That's going to do it for this episode of Cardinals Daily. I'm Eddie Law. Don't forget to hit that sub button. Hit that bell. Hit that like. Leave a comment. I'll see you all tomorrow. Cardinals win 20-13. Beautiful, beautiful Monday, ladies and gentlemen. It's Victory Monday. Enjoy yourselves. Catch you in the next one. Go Cardinals.